Hello. I'm going to tell you a story about a final exam. A student walked into a classroom and it was a big auditorium with rows upon rows of seats and a lot of students. And then the teacher entered the room and looked out at the crowd of students and said, "All right, this is your test, your final exam for math." And the students nodded in understanding. And the teacher said, "There is a strict 2-hour limit. After that, you're done." So the teacher passed out the tests, and then the other students passed them out amongst themselves, and some of them were thinking, "Oh, this looks easy," and others were thinking it looked really difficult. And so the teacher looked up at the clock, noted the time, and began watching the students as they took the test. 1 hour had passed, and one student came down, passed in their quiz, and then walked out. And the teacher noted the time. And then 1.5 hours had passed, and then a few more students passed in their tests and left, and the stack of completed tests got thicker. It had now been 1 hour and 45 minutes, and again more students had turned in their tests and left, and there was around 10 minutes left. And the teacher said, "All right." And then right at the 2-hour mark, a ton of students just came up and handed in their quizzes to hurry and get it done in time. But then the teacher noticed there was one student that was still sitting there. And the teacher looked at the time and gave them a little bit more, waited and waited. And then finally the student just made their way down the steps. And the teacher said, "Hey, there's a 2-hour limit, I told you, and this is late." And the student said, "Do you know my name?" And the teacher said, "Well, that's just silly, because there's so many students in here, how would I know your name?" And the student grinned, and then quickly shoved their paper in the middle of his stack and ran out. And the teacher was just dumbfounded.